This is Tom Pope and you're listening to Six Towns Radio.
We love music. You are locked into Six Towns Radio.
Chills Bar, Bearsley, sponsors of Port Vale content on Six Towns Radio.
Okay, Tom Pope, let's talk about the Aldershot game first of all. It was a 1-1 draw and a bit of a battle. Obviously they had survival on their minds while Vale had promotion.
Every game's a battle. You've got to apply yourselves right from the word go. I think, certainly against Burton we applied ourselves well. Did everything right. Won 7, could have won 10. Did everything right. Against Aldershot we didn't, and probably against any other team in the league we'd have probably gone on to lose the game. We were fortunate to come away with a point in the end. We didn't get in the faces, we didn't win his tackles, headers, didn't get the ball moving quick enough. When we got the ball we lumped it a bit, and it was a frustrating game. They certainly added to that with the keeper time wasting from the first minute and trying to lie on the ball for 10 seconds at a time, and players rolling around screaming all first half. It's difficult to try and build a tempo off that, but it's one of them. We've played as bad as we have done pretty much all season and come away with a point, so we'll look at the positives, go into the Rochdale game and hopefully get back to the winning ways. The
atmosphere was quite flat. Obviously after Burton there was some magic in the air for the Burton game. It just seemed electric. Obviously 10,000 Vale fans at half time, the 93 team coming out when you'd have been a kid when they won the Autoglass, and that's probably one of the biggest games in Vale's history. So there was some sort of magic in there, and then the Aldershot game with them coming up and kicking hell out of Vale and time wasting, but a point is another point towards a goal.
Well, yeah, we know we've just got to do our jobs. We can't rely on anybody else. Obviously, the atmosphere was always going to be a lot worse than it was against the Burton game because the crowd was nearly 50% less. But the fans that turned up, really got behind the lads. We can't legislate for our performance. We certainly ain't down to fans or anything else. It's down to the 11 lads that went onto the pitch and bar Griff and maybe Yatesy and maybe one or two others, nobody really did the jobs or did it well enough, and hopefully, like I say, we can go into Saturday, put it right, get 3 points, and hopefully that we've been promoted.
Yeah. Last couple of weeks since you won the League 2 Player of the season have changed. The Cheltenham game, you're getting a hat-trick in that game. It was a massive game anyway, but turning them over and then getting a point away and then winning 7-1 against Burton and then another point, it's all added up, and now it's the 3 games, it's the business end of the season. It's just, when's it going to happen?
Well, of course. It's not when's it going to happen. We can't afford to be complacent. We're taking every game as it comes. We know if we win those next 2 games, we'll be promoted regardless of what anybody else does. The ball's on our court, we've got the gap, and they're there to catch us. They've got to win games of football, and we know that if we go out there and get a win, then it doesn't make any odds what anybody else does. We just got to keep working hard and going into the next game with 3 points. If it goes into the Northampton game, then we'll prepare right and go into that looking for the 3 points, and then it doesn't matter what anybody else does, even if they win the last 3 games. If we win our next 2, then we're not for catching.
Yeah, you said it's like a mini league. It's an interesting point you made last time. There's 3 games left, just notching them points, isn't it?
Of course it is. This is a business end, and it's a 3-game lead, apart from we've got a 5-point lead at the top of it, so we'll just keep, like I say, the gaffer won't let us become complacent. We'll just keep working hard, trying as best, and hopefully it'll be enough.
Yeah, how's your Sunday League team getting on? Because you've been looking after that Sneed team for quite a while now, a couple of seasons.
We haven't lost a game until last week. We lost in extra time. We've been getting along well. We've got a great squad, but 3 of us best players, well, probably our 3 best players, were injured Sunday, and we lost in extra time to Six Towns. So
it wasn't the radio station that we just had.
No,
it wasn't us.
No, I hope not. But yeah, so we're enjoying it. We've got a great squad, great bunch of lads, and something to enjoy.
Okay, I've got 3 final listener questions. The first one is from Neil Evans. He says, can you remember when you scored 4 and Nev scored 5, Sneed versus Hanley Town?
I do. He absolutely battered us that day. I think we lost 7-5. I scored 4 and Nev scored 5. He was unplayable that day. That was some years ago.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is from Ashley Howell. How much do you actually love the Vale? When the fans chant "Feed the Pope," do you get shivers?
You try to block it out, to be honest. I think, everybody would love play for their club. At the end of a game, when you've scored an hat-trick or won a game of football, it's great seeing all the fans cheering you and so on. But, when you're in the middle of a game, and it's certainly a big game, you try and block as much of it out as you can. Your mentality and everything's on the game. So, as much as you love thousands of fans singing your name, a lot of the time it doesn't really register in the middle of a game because you're too busy concentrating on what run do or where the ball's going to end up and so on and so forth. So, as much as I love playing it, you don't really have a chance to take it in during the game. It's normally at full time or after you've scored a goal.
Yeah, got to stay focused. The final one is from Danny Kelly. He said, is it true Martin Foyle said no to you joining the Vale when he was manager?
Yeah, I was at Biddulph at the time, and I went on trial. I played an under-18 game with a load of trialists, and we played for the under-18s. But the under-18s played first half, and then all the trialists played second half. And I think there was 7 or 8 trialists there, and I played with them. None of them had passed the ball because they all wanted to show what they could do. The 2 wingers were trialists, the other forwards were trialists, the midfielders were trialists. And every time they got the ball, they just wanted to shoot. So I stood there, I think I had one header at the bar, and other than that, I didn't have a kick. And he turned around and said I probably wasn't ready for the first team, blah, blah. And that's fair enough, That was more, I just think, if there had a chance, show what I could have done, then I think I'd have been at the club a lot sooner than I was. But at the time, I think there was a lot of troubles going on off the pitch, and it's difficult for a manager to try and take a risk on a non-league player. Crew certainly had the foundations and the money to take a gamble on a young 17, 19-year-old kid. But at the time, obviously, paying a wage to a young lad at Vale on a gamble, probably couldn't afford to happen at the club. So it was Mark's decision. He didn't take it up, but I've ended up here anyway, so I'm just as happy.
Cheers, mate.
No problem.
Broadcasting to Stoke-on-Trent and the world. This is Six Towns Radio.